Hey, good morning and welcome to Inside South Florida. I'm Dave Azer. Today, if you're going through a divorce, you don't have to go through it alone. Meet a South Florida-based divorce coach. Plus, there are tons of children across South Florida in need of a guardian. We'll tell you how you can help out. And a local pediatrician will explain the pros and cons of youth tackle football. That and more as Inside South Florida starts right now. Well, divorce can be tough. In fact, it can be pretty overwhelming, but you don't have to go through it alone. In fact, there's a local professional divorce coach you can contact. Here's Debbie Martinez. Debbie, this is going to be a really fun interview. I'm excited for this. Welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's, you always hear like relationship experts and couples experts and let's stay together. You're saying, you know what? Not always. Sometimes you gotta just do one of these deals, right? And that's where you come in. So what is a divorce coach? What do you do?
I am someone who helps at the worst time of your life. I help you get organized. I help you even decide if a divorce is the road that you want to take. I help you cut costs with the attorney because you'll vent to me. You'll come to me to help you fill out the financials. You'll come to me to help you fill out the parenting plan. And I help you reinvent yourself at the end of the day.
So, so why you? Why are you qualified to do this?
Well, I'm certified.
Right.
I went and got certified in mindful life coaching. And then I also became a Supreme Court certified family mediator.
Okay. And I know that part of this idea came from your own personal experiences,
It did.
right? Yeah.
It did.
One day, you got divorced and just said, I'm going to help other people go through this?
Yes. After 15 years, I got divorced, and I decided I could choose to look at it as the door shutting or a door opening. So I chose to look at it as a door opening and helping other people get through it.
So you mentioned that you're trained and certified, and one of the things I came across was you're trained in collaborative divorce. Mm-hmm. What is collaborative divorce?
Collaborative divorce is a type of divorce now that's becoming very popular because it's non-adversarial. So if someone wants to get divorced, they can come to me, a mediator, and I can mediate out their divorce privately. Or if it's a little bit more complicated, they can each have an attorney, but they each only have one accountant and one mental health specialist.
Yeah, but do you find, gosh, is it more often than not contentious, or is it collaborative when they get in the room together? I mean, are most divorces amicable?
When it is collaborative, you actually have to sign a contract.
Okay.
And if you decide midway through that this is not going to work and it's going to turn adversarial, whatever you all have agreed on in collaborative divorce proceedings, you can't take with you. You have to start all over again.
Man, ouch. So it's easier just to sort of like work together through it, before you part company. All right. So you mentioned that you can save some money for these people. So,
absolutely.
So how much can you save? How do you save all the money? I know maybe they don't need a lawyer. What else?
Well, if they're just coming to me for mediation, I just sit down and I divide their assets with them. I write the marital settlement agreement, I write the parenting plan, and I give it to them and they file it with the courts. If they're coming to me for divorce coaching, I save them a lot of money because they're not calling the attorney to vent. They're calling me to vent. Right. They're coming to me to get themselves organized. So when they walk into the attorney's office, they're not walking in with a big bag of all loose papers. Everything's in file folders. We've already run through a set of questions that they want to ask their attorney. So it saves them a lot of time and money.
Oh, that's cool, because if they call the attorney to vent, the attorney just puts them on speaker and just gets the little register going, and they're like, oh, tell me more. Wow.
Bring out the calculator.
Yeah, and then what happened? Wow, that was $6,000, but I hope you feel better. This is a tough time of year probably to be going through divorce, holidays and Christmas and things like that. So what advice, what tips would you have for people going through that now?
It's tough to be single and go through the holidays anyway, but when you're divorced and when you're used to having the children with you and you shut that door and you send them off with your ex and then you turn around and there you are facing the Christmas tree or whatever. I mean, if you're not proactive and you don't have something already in place, it's really a tough time.
This is heavy duty stuff. Like, I don't mean to make light of it. I understand the toll it takes on families when people get divorced, but sometimes it's got to be the best thing for people, I would imagine. So within all this heartbreak and sadness, are you ever working with people who just come in and go, finally, I'm rid of that person. I can start over, right? It's not always so depressing, is it? There has to be like a silver lining. I'm searching for a silver lining.
Well, the silver lining is that you get to reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
And you get to be appreciative of the one life you have instead of dreading it every morning when you wake up. But yeah, there are people that come in and they're just really happy that it's over, but there's also that breakup backlash. Maybe they have to deal with a narcissistic ex-spouse, and that's very difficult. So they might be happy they're out of it,
right,
but there's still a lot of stuff that they have to deal with after.
Well, fortunately for them, there's a box that exists in the world
to
make their life easier.
My moving on box.
Yes. What is in the moving on box?
Everything a woman, and unfortunately I don't have a man's version, although I'm working on it.
The man's moving on box just has a TV with a football in it. That's, I think, and a beer.
You think that's it?
Yeah, I mean, we sulk in our own ways.
And a little black book.
Maybe. I have no comment on that. Yeah, all right, so
but in this one, it comes with a card that has everything listed in the box and what each thing is for. So here's a journal where you can keep track of your new life, and this book is amazing, A Weekend to Change Your Life. And then there are fun things, because you have to have humor in divorce.
Right.
There's a nutcracker, so I'll leave it up to you
okay.
what you do with that.
Sure, it is a morning TV show.
And then, you know, a mirror so that you can see the beauty within yourself. So there are cute little things, a little black notebook, rose-colored glasses, a tiara so that you can always feel like a princess. And my favorite, it's a little stressed donkey.
Okay, I'm picturing the guy obviously as the donkey. Is that open open interpretation?
You can picture it that way.
Right, you could theoretically take these two items together and just do whatever it is you
and
need
have
to
a
do.
night of it, a glass of wine, and
yeah.
you'll be a happy camper.
So you mentioned journaling. Is that important, you think, in terms of the healing process, just to be writing stuff down?
I do. There are people who don't like to write that come to me, and I get them writing because I really do think it's important. You have to write down your thoughts, because I might feel one way today and tomorrow I might forget how I felt today and think that tomorrow was the worst day of my life when I go back and I look and I see how much growth I've made.
Right.
So it's very important.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about that too is that I think sometimes when people go through breakups or divorce or whatever, you have a tendency to forget the bad stuff. Right? And then you think, oh, but he wasn't that bad. But maybe if you write something down, you can go, oh yeah, he drove my car into the pool or whatever. Yeah, so it's probably good for that.
Or he drove me crazy enough to drive my car into the pool.
Right,
One of the two.
But it was probably the woman's fault. I'm just kidding. I'm totally just kidding. You also do some writing, right? You have a column?
I do.
Yeah.
I have a column in the Huffington Post. I have a column called Debbie Does Divorce in Miami Community Newspapers. I'm writing a book.
Okay.
So I have a lot in the works.
Fantastic. So now if people want to come see you, is it just women at present that can come see you?
You know, actually it started out with just women, but I have gotten men.
Okay.
So, and I think it's important for men to know that they can come to a life coach and they can really move upwards with a life coach.
Yeah, so whether it's a man or a woman, if they want to come see you, if they want to find you, get more information, how do they do that?
They can go to my website, which is thepowerofdivorcecoach.com, and all my info is there, all my articles are there, how to get in touch with me is there.
All right, that's
We're all set.
It was so great to meet you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. Nice meeting you as well.
And we'll see you next year.
Appreciate it, yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. When we come back, how you can help South Florida children in desperate need of guardians. We'll tell you. Keep it here.